We have to know that sometimes people will open the door for you and leave it open. Sometimes they won't. And then you need to kick that door down.
Democrats may dream of President Biden stepping aside for a more appealing candidate, but there's a hitch.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Even if someone did manage to persuade Mr. Biden that stepping down was the right thing to do, identity politics gives Ms. Harris an effective veto over any plans to swap out candidates.
It's not going to be easy. It never is. There will be people throwing tomatoes when we're running.
It's an extraordinary power considering her political weakness.
This whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
The one significant portfolio Mr. Biden gave his number two was the border with Mexico.
We've got to deal with the root causes.
She made one visit. Since then, Ms. Harris has given it wide berth, watching it metastasize from afar.
It is no secret for anyone that we have a broken immigration system.
The problem the party faces is that it can't dump both Mr. Biden and Ms. Harris from the ticket without raising the progressive specter of identity politics. Or, put another way, could the Democratic Party today really pass over its black, female, Indian American vice president for any one of the white candidates usually mentioned as replacements for Mr. Biden?
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay.
Even the vice president's father was critical following her comments on marijuana legalization.
And look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
Her dad, a retired Stanford economist, complained that their ancestors were having their names tarnished, quote, in the pursuit of identity politics.
First of all, is the answer yes?
The answer is absolutely yes, Joe, and I am ready to work.
It helps to remember how Kamala Harris got her job after being forced to drop out of the Democratic primaries before a single vote was cast.
I am suspending our campaign today.
In short, Ms. Harris was Mr. Biden's ticket to the minority vote. This embrace of identity politics may have been cynical, but it worked.
I'm voting for Joe Biden. South Carolinians should be voting for Joe Biden.
Black voters, who constitute the majority of Democrats in South Carolina, rescued Mr. Biden after an embarrassing fourth-place showing in the Iowa caucuses and fifth-place showing in New Hampshire.
Good afternoon.
But despite his boasts today,
We have more minorities in our administration than any other administration in all of history.
support has been slipping with African Americans.
I'm probably be the only black person to admit it, but I want Trump back.
Trump, what he is doing, Trump has helped out a lot of people in the community, helped out a lot of black businesses.
With this in mind, giving Ms. Harris the old heave-ho in favor of a white politician would probably backfire and further divide the party.
President Biden doesn't run. Why shouldn't we consider you a likely candidate?
I think the vice president is naturally one lined up.
That leaves the vice president untouchable.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Identity politics in today's Democratic Party do the opposite of Martin Luther King's dream. As a result, people selected for their racial or gender identities are politically difficult to let go if it turns out they aren't up to the job, because that isn't why they were hired in the first place.
Happy Juneteenth. Please have a seat. Please have a seat.
Identity politics also unfairly casts doubt on the competence of all such hires, even those who work hard to achieve success. The result is what the nation now sees with Ms. Harris, clearly in over her head, but impossible to dislodge. In May, Mr. Biden made a joke.
My name's Joe Biden. I work for Kamala Harris.
And his embrace of naked identity politics means it's truer than he knows.